Hello, beautifuls. This is Atleen, and I'm coming to you with another video discussing wireless for the CCNA certification. One of the big changes that I do realize with this CCNA certification is there is a much stronger emphasis on wireless technology. The blueprint, they even tell us that we need to be able to configure a Cisco wireless LAN controller. We need to be able to configure the SSID, service set identifier, configure WPA2, also configure AES with the pre-shared key. And we could do this for free in the Cisco Packet Tracer. And we're going to learn that just a little bit later. What we're going to do today, we're starting off these videos, is just starting off basics. So we're just going to discuss some basics of the wireless technology. Um, the most basic, the most basic is when you have one device talking to another. For example, well, I'll give you an example besides these two, like an iPhone. Like an iPhone or an iPad, if I wanted to have a file transferred from one device to another, to the other, what we can do is what is called an airdrop. An airdrop that's in the Apple iOS ecosystem. And that airdrop is basically using a Bluetooth or a wireless to do a file transfer. So no matter where you're at, you can do it. Like if you're out in a base, if you're out in the middle of a field, like a football field, you can actually do this. The point is that the devices are talking to one another. They're not relying on a wireless access point, but typically we are going to have a hardwired connection. Where there's the place for the internet to come in, like you can hardwire some PCs and printers. But all of our wireless devices, like your iPhone, it can be just received on antennas. These are antennas. Excuse my drawing. I just threw it up there. And this is what we think of in a small office home environment. So it's a SOHO. That's what they call it, SOHO. SOHO. And that's just called an infrastructure wireless LAN because the device is hardwired. The device we are communicating with is basically hardwired into the network infrastructure. So what's this right here? Basically, sometimes though, it's not super convenient to have a network cable out. Maybe I say in the building about 50 meters or so behind your building. I say like an example would be like a guard shack. For instance, you like to have wireless coverage, maybe in a parking lot area. So your folks and your employees, so staff can come on into work that morning and they can still sit in their car and check their email. So you don't have a Cat 6 cable, but these right here are like mesh wireless access points. And what they will do, they are sort of repeaters. You can mount one in the guard shack and it can receive a signal from the main building and it turns around and broadcasts it out to the parking lot. So they will give parking lot coverage. That's what they do, the meshes. Well, you can actually have a ubiquity access point, for example. It's not a Cisco. Cisco's are the best, of course. But in an enterprise, coming over here to a larger topology, But in the enterprise, we have a large coverage area. Excuse me. If you have like a Cisco access point mounted in the ceiling and trying to have coverage for lots of like conference rooms, the second floor, the third floor, you would probably need more than just one to ensure everyone is secured, is serviced, because it has a limited range. So multiple wireless access points devices are required, as you can see on the board. So there is an option, and this option is called the autonomous access points. And with this option, we can point our browsers or point our terminal to our wireless access point and configure it individually and so on. So autonomous, that's a word that we would need to know to understand wireless better for the examination. And autonomous access point is defined as a wireless operating in a standalone mode such that it provides a fully functional BSS. BSS is a wireless service provided by one access point AP to one or more clients to connect to DS. DS is distribution center system. So one wireless LAN controller will reach out. It's a single point of administration and reaches out to communicate with all the different devices so we can have one point of contact. All right, folks, so what I'm going to do today is go over in the book Autonomous AP Architecture. And I'm trying not to go over 10 minutes for each video. So I see we're at the 8-minute mark. So I'll do a separate video for this. But this is what I would like to read today. The autonomous AP architecture, which is an access point primary function, is to bridge wireless data from their air to a normal wired network. So that's what we'll be going over today. And this is analyzing Cisco wireless architectures, chapter 27. And this is in the CCNA book. This is volume 1. All right, well, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And I wish you well in this journey of receiving your CCNA certification.